What's up guys, Tommy Bowyer here from Movie Rewind, and today we will be reviewing Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed was released in 2004 and is the sequel to the very controversial Scooby-Doo live action movie. Now, I reviewed the Scooby-Doo movie on this channel and I said that I really didn't like it. I understood that they were trying to go for a bit of a parody, self-aware thing, I think, but it just didn't work and it was quite lazy. The storyline was really bad and the performances were horrible. However, I have always had a soft spot for Scooby-Doo 2 for the simple reason I feel that it honours the show a lot better, and there's a lot of nostalgia in here from the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You TV show. So I'm just going to discuss a couple of the things I really enjoy about this movie and why I believe it is better than the original. So in terms of character development, I actually think that this movie deals with the characters a lot better. This movie focuses around Shaggy and Scooby-Doo and the idea that they want to be more like Fred, Daphne and Velma. They want to be the smart ones and they want to be the brave ones instead of the cowards which they are portrayed in the TV show. And I think that is a very interesting dynamic. And there was a brilliant scene by the lake, about probably 2/3 into the movie, where Shaggy and Scooby-Doo have a brilliant conversation. And there's a lot of character development there. And Matthew Lillard's portrayal of Shaggy is just brilliant. I think he nails the character even more in this second film. And the character development between Shaggy and Scooby-Doo is just brilliant. So I'm going to award character development a 5 out of 10 because it's a lot better than the first film. I think they handle the characters a lot better. I have already kind of glanced over performances by saying Matthew Lillard is brilliant as Shaggy. However, I do think that all the main cast improve in their performances. I feel like in the first movie they kind of weren't used to the characters they were portraying. However, I feel like in the second movie they understood the characters a lot more, and I think the writer of this movie, James Gunn, really understood the characters more and they act better. I think that the performances have really improved, especially Freddie Prinze Jr. His performance in the first movie was atrocious. However, I think he does a better job in the second movie. And as for some of the other actors who are included, you've got Seth Green, you've got Alicia Silverstone, which are good actors and they bring a laugh a couple of times. So I think performances has really improved in this movie. And that's why performances is going to get a 5 out of 10. Because honestly, I think with more time that they had to develop their personalities more, their performances improved as a result. So as for the effects in this movie, yeah, they've kind of not really improved. The CGI still looks quite dated, and when you think the Lord of the Rings films were getting released by this time, so yeah, the effects are pretty dated. I think maybe the effects on Scooby-Doo have improved a bit, however, they're still not great. They're really not great. They have not held up. I don't think they held up at the time. However, they've really not held up now. So effects is going to get a 3 out of 10 because, yeah, they didn't seem to try and up the effects, which is, well, it lets it down, really. So one thing that has improved since the first film is the story and writing. Now, this is the Scooby-Doo movie which I wanted to see when I was a kid, because the idea of the story is that the costumes of the classic monsters, such as the Black Knight Ghost, Captain Cutler's Ghost, Minor 49er, are transformed into real monsters. Now, I think that's such a brilliant premise, because not only are fans of the cartoon series going to see their favourite monsters brought to life, it's just a really interesting story. I mean, seeing the museum where all of the monsters which the Mystery Inc. have ever unmasked being on display to the general public, I think that's brilliant. I wish I could have been on set, because a lot of the costumes you can kind of point out and say, oh, I recognise that monster, or oh, I get that monster. I think it's a brilliant premise. The only thing I can say is I wish that we got to see more monsters, because I think we could have done with a lot more monsters. However, the monsters they do give us, they're iconic, and they actually justify for the original series. They're good representations. So I'm going to give the story and writing of this movie a 5 out of 10 because, yeah, it's not the best. There are a few plot holes and the pacing's a bit all over the place. However, just by using the original monsters, I think is a stroke of genius. So for this movie's special recognition, I am going to say about the nostalgia. Now, Scooby-Doo was probably one of the first collections that I ever started. I'm a really significant DVD collector, and I collect a lot of DVDs. However, Scooby-Doo was the first kind of DVDs I collect, and I've still got all of them. I don't really watch them anymore. However, I'm not going to give them away because that took about 7 years to build up that collection. And this movie does have a lot of nostalgia for me because it's closer to the original Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And I honestly think that it is a celebration of that show just by using the original monsters, by using a much more set design. The set design is a lot better than the tropical set design used in the first movie. I really like this movie. It's got a lot of nostalgia for me, and I think it's just a celebration of Scooby-Doo as a whole. So that's why this week's special recognition, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10, because honestly, I really enjoy this movie. I think it's the Scooby-Doo movie which everyone wanted to see. In conclusion, Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is a celebration of the original Scooby-Doo series. It does everything that a good sequel should do. The character development, performances, and the story and writing all improve. Despite the effects still being a bit loosey and there is some pacing issues, I think that this is a lot closer to the original Scooby-Doo series, and it has always been a guilty pleasure film of mine. That is why the Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed will get a 25 out of 50, which gives it a grade 4 ranking. I am not ashamed of enjoying this movie, and I still watch it from time to time. So thanks for watching, guys. I really do hope that you have enjoyed my Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed movie review. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even improved quality content in the future. And that is it. My Scooby-Doo film series has finally been done. I'll be starting a new series next week, which is a bit of a longer series. It will probably last till the end of the year. However, I have really planned this one thoroughly. I've been planning it since I started up this channel back in September 2017. So yeah, this series that is coming up is going to be really important to me, and I hope you guys do support that, and I hope you enjoy it also. So I will see you in the next one. See ya!